Right, so I've just arrived at Buxton Raceway and just parked outside just outside it. As for the bus and coach banger racing today, I've come down to see. There's other formulas as well, but it's mainly the buses I'm going to be filming in that. So this is August the 29th, 2022, the Buxton Raceway bus and coach banger race meeting. And it's a lovely drive up to here as well. Drive through some nice countryside. So it's just a stone throw away from the actual town of Buxton. So I drove down from Scotland, Dundee, that's where I stay, and I'd done the 300-mile trip. I've got 2 nights at the Travel Lodge, but I arrived here late at the Travel Lodge yesterday, and I'll be spending there tonight as well. So that's a long drive back. I'll go back home tomorrow, but it was worth it. I mean, it's worth coming down to see. I was down here in June for the meeting, so I came down here again for the 29th of August one. So let's hope there's lots of action. Some double deckers here. That one there was racing out in June. That was been raced before. There's 2 or 3 of them have been here already back in June. There's some that haven't been raced at all, and the double deckers they haven't been raced. So I'll go around and get pictures for you, videos and that as well. So this is before obviously the first heat. Although that looks as if it's been raced, that was raced months ago, a couple of months, middle of June. But there hasn't been any race just now in this August one, so like the double deckers have not been raced. So I'll footage of that, and then Mercedes there as well. Buxton Raceway.
You'll be on that side now, Clyde. Wait, wait.
Executive travel. Air conditioning in this bus anyway.
Black hatch.
That's the bus I was just off, eh? That was amazing, that parade, like, yeah, brilliant. Not every day you get to bus travel like that anyway. Plenty of air conditioning, lots of thrills, not like a carnival ride. So that was just the parade lap. The actual racing starts probably, I think it's race 6 and then race 11 and the final. So there's 3 heats for the bus banger racing. So that was just the parade lap. So the racing starts at 1 o'clock and there's about 4 or 5 other formulas, car formulas and that. They've got the regular banger cars, which is one of my favourites as well, obviously. Anything to do with bangers are my favourites. And there's I think there's micro F2s as well. That's just for the kids, like, you know. So can't wait for the first heat.
He's got problems and he parks it up.
So that's Ford Mondeo. It's not often you see them, quite rare. That's a Mark 1 Ford Mondeo. So that's Ford Mondeo. Quite rare to see them. I remember when they first came out in the early 90s, that's what replaced the Ford Sierra. So that's in the 1800cc bangers. They've got other formulas as well. There's saloon stock cars, there's micro bangers, and I think they're, I'm not sure what the other ones are called here, but they're like They remind me of the stock rods. So, and obviously where the buses. But yeah, it's quite a lot here. But it's rare to see the old Mondial Mark 1. It's quite a rare sight. So that's the Ford Mondeo Mark 1 1800 naturally aspirated engine. That means it's a non-turbo. Bagger racing that's all the way up next, 1800cc.
Pushing and shoving is encouraged. Mixture of Vauxhalls, Fords, the Toyota that's dropping the traffic. 91 Toyota and Byron, Ackroyd, dropping the traffic to the lead. 91 in 3 is Halloween track. So, all the way round is it. On the back straight, past our new grandstand, please. Give them a wave. Make some noise. So, next, it's the buses and coaches. Someone's not listening, now on track. There's a little bit of damage on the front, so I think that's probably from when it raised last time. That's half the front of the bus is missing. The back end's no longer the shape it was when...
Oh, that blue one.
Down the side, that's the one that was the car transporter in its last days on the road. Dan Lucas's treble 6. And they're still coming out. Remember, these are going to be having a straight race. And then again, one coming across the middle now is 55, that's Jack Moulson. When she comes across the middle. Hope she enjoyed it. Give her a wave, wish her all the best. The lone lady in number 7. Marissa Wiley there. Give her a wave round that car park soon. One lady against the 8 fellas that's out there. With this lot, it really is. He's coming out. The first two races of buses is a race. The DD comes later. Whether the drivers sort of have got that message, we'll have to wait and see. On the buses, if you're old enough, you might have seen it, or you might catch it on various channels. But 666, the littlest bus out there, the overgrown minibus, as I said, does the regular facing the wrong way. On a young lady in the rest of the and here comes down. In the buses on the afternoon. Jack Moulson got spun round and still facing the wrong way, and there's one or two buses coming at him. So it's not on the back page. One more. That was still not that. Right behind it. Hitting it down the bank. They have that's a bit different. That is a 141 also in the third spot. It's the confusing. And the race is coming round now, that's what they're going to change, that's to play all that before we got to the main track. Down the car park to 141 inside that Buxton 55 bus is coming to a halt on the road. It's still treble 6 here in the leading team, the only leader. Second, 3 to go, David, 3 laps to go. It's treble 6, 141 first and second, and 141 in third. Right, 2141 running second turn, and Rural Bus over the short side, on the home straight away with the treble 5. Lifting that one round the corner there with a bit of help from treble 5. The lead bus is in there, could get some wash here if it's not careful. On into the middle. Both playing way down from the outside. And the second place also from the same route. So it's trouble. One more. Trouble across the fence by Melissa in a double decker. 2 laps to go, it's still trouble 2. It's still 141, I think, and that's been shoved wide by the other 141. On the centre 141, split the wall. So it's still trouble 6. Comes down. I've got a scratch on it, but a body work hanging off on the back, so we'll get it through. He's got to half a lap and he's got it clear, but still going on what with the front passing the side. Look, definitely, here he comes. Well clear of the rest. Red flags around the raceway. So treble 6, the overgrown minibus, wins the heat. Red flags around the raceway. That should be the drivers bringing the buses to a stop. Apart from that treble 55 in the middle and one of the 141s on the pit turn. Hopefully we can get them running again. Marissa there, she's completed the distance. Give her a wave as she comes round. The first lady of bus racing here at Buxton. Give her a wave, she's completed the distance. A few dips on it, but she'll be out for race 2. But the winner, Dan Lucas, treble 6, and a fairly unmarked overgrown minibus takes the win. Had a bit of a to do with 141. Mark Broughton earlier in the
So that was the first heat of the buses and coaches. I'm just going to have a look around the pits to see the damage. So it was this coach, that bus that won. That won the one in the first heat. It's not a mark on it. Barely a mark on it. that's a beautifully preserved Leyland Tiger, the Buxton Supreme bodywork. It's for on the Chesterfield livery. Obviously this one won't be racing. This is just for just a nice display bus. Well preserved. It's a private number, not quite sure how old it is. It'll probably be I'm guessing it'll be the late 70s or something. So this is the Ford Mondeo again. It's the 1800 bagger. This is under it's a 16 valve VTEC engine. Another 16 valve VTEC engine and a Ford Focus. I think it's probably a Mark 1 Focus or a Mark 2 maybe. Not quite sure, it's maybe a Mark 1 I'm guessing. That's got the Cummins engine in it with the Voith transmission. The engine sits on the near side, which is quite unusual. I'm used to seeing buses with the engine sitting on the off side, the transmission on the near side. It's a different way on this, different configuration of that bus. So this is an Alexander body Dennis Trident 2. Dennis Trident 2 chassis with the Alexander bodywork. This one's got a burst oil cooler. That's why it's all covered in oil. It's a burst oil cooler. Will be in the front and a big backfire on that car. But yeah, it's all been, that'll be the old oil cooler cooling pack in that in there. Just been spewing oil all over the engine bay. That drum in there with all the steam in it, that's the coolant. They've supplemented the radiator, they've put a big oil drum inside there. That's the steam from the coolant. That would have been the original expansion tank, but obviously that's knackered, well and truly wrecked. So they've just put the drum in there to compensate, they've just filled it up. So it circulates around the engine. So the Banger cars are going to be out for, I think it's the second heat for them. And then after the Bangers it's the buses again. So we'll get that recorded. That there is the pressure release valve. That's just making the noise. It's the dump valve for the air. It's like a regulator for the pressure so it doesn't rupture the tank. This is the 1800cc Banger coming up on the second heat.
16's there. 62 gets passed in towards the end and then got put down by a back marker. We'll see how Chris Darwin leading. I think that's the public distance when it was last on the road. on the back straight, 62, that pole complete 3 back in the lead, 199 in second, 2 was our early leader, 2 and 3 out by the best. And on to the back straight, 199 in second, 171 in third. Oh, and it's took him out. Oh, right, okay, well, it's 199, 16, I think. 62 there on the back straight in the lead. That lead back and orange one. It's getting to the lead in that last race, and then someone took him out. And he was going well. So we get that last 60 yards back down to... Red flags around the raceway. We've got one steaming on the back straight with a black line and steam coming out everywhere. 644 I think that is. The 91 that won the first race won twice on the same bend. Just to prove it was. Paul Napper gets a very solid second place. That chart's just double check. Turn. Give him a cheer. We've got some really big trophies up for grabs. We've got the V8 hot stops here for their Gold Roof World Final. We've got the Micras, our youngsters that you've seen today are back. Hopefully it's alright and it can go the distance this time. Last time it was about 5 or 6. We've really excelled ourselves this afternoon and got a young lady out there having a go with the fellas as well. Good reply. Okay, so we've got the big engine together. 10 buses, coaches, including the overgrown minibus out there. So we've got the overgrown minibus, 7-6 that won the first race. He's now starting to still got the lights on. Hopefully there's somebody in, they say that if the lights are on, but there's nobody. Hopefully there's someone in. Andy Carr got his indicators going, I don't know whether they know. Here we go. The ex-car transporter is leading the way. And it's 141. Oh, we've got a spinner already on the car park too. That's the option. Unless you're another one like the handbook. And he's gone through. That's it now, we've got it. On the back straight is the leader. The overgrown minibus 7-6 is second. The blue 270 in the car park third is the leading bus. 6-6-6-6. The Mercedes minibus is in second. Leicester still going down in it's a good round. Come on, the only girl that's having a do. Right. One of the two. 270 and 666. First and second. The question is 270 going to squash the 666 if it tries to come fast? Three abreast round that big turn. I never thought we'd see that, but we did. Melissa's still going here in a double decker. Won the first race, he was going well in second, he's now facing the wrong way. That leaves 270 and 3. David, 3 next time. 270 in the lead. 270, James Watson in the big turn. Way ahead of the rest now. Oh, it's not. And then they can get down the inside. So the lead bus is leading. It's winning. I believe it's the second of the 141. The one that's still curling straight. The one that's underneath is not leading. That one, the one that's looking a bit strong, was winning, just about to get totally. The one that's 141 on the back straight, avoiding getting spin off. back up to second again, having got spun off. So here we come, onto the back, onto the home straight. This one he's leading and he's going to take the win. Red flags around the raceway. Red flags around the raceway. Lady racer completed both races. Congratulations, Marissa.
So that was the second heat. As you can see, the expansion tank is steaming hot. That's obviously just to make do with to supplement the expansion tank. They put the big drum in there, and that's just the steam pressure releasing out. Quite a good idea actually. So that's the second heat. The next heat with these buses and coaches will be the Destruction Derby. Can't wait to see that. So I'll have a look around the pits and get some of the damage photos and videos of the damage in the buses. crane to pull out that part, the pillar. So they're just using the hoist to pull out the pillar. And a big hydraulic crane. Yeah, it's a big winch on the back of that. That's just going to pull the panel of the pillar. This is that hose is going to run to the water tanks to fill up the water tanks that are outside the coaches. So that's just to top up the coolant. They don't have to worry about antifreeze or anything. Just be plain water. That's what all the steam is from the tank inside the coaches. So, this is the 1800 bangers, and it's going to be a ramp race. So there's a wee ramp on the track and the cars are going to go up on this ramp. So I'll get that on film for you as well. the ramp race. Very unusual setup that. There's a lot of damage to the suspension as well. Sparks, you get the sort of sparkle smell. That'd be the bottom of the car scraped over the metal ramp. But that's what sort of, it's like the sparklers you get at Guy Fawkes, there's a strong smell of that. Suspension on that one's hanging off. Crazy stuff, eh? So this is the final race for the buses. It's the demolition derby as well.
would like to move with a bit of luck. That's going to be the round, I think, for a lap of honour.
No, because that one got stuck, didn't it? So, he don't want it. Oh, he never gives it up.
There's a complete show your appreciation. They put a lot of effort in there to race this afternoon. Great effort there in the DD, all the way around the raceway, please.
Oh, that was brilliant. Oh, a lot of steer though, but yeah, it's a demolition derby. That's them doing like a sort of lap of honour and that. They wouldn't take the carbon and all the debris on the track. So. Brilliant fun, So that's the bank holiday Monday, 29th of August 2022 at the Buxton. I'll have a look around the pits. I'll go around and get some video footage of the damage and that. So I'll see them loading up on the trucks as well.
Yeah, hang on. Pass it, I pass it on the way over. You're going out the Buxton on the left. Run it for these subways. It should take about an hour to get back for me.
Brilliant. Can we do it on the phone?
Yeah.
Did it? Oh, jeez. Why? Could have been.
This, you ever seen about the one that roof come off and you drove it off track? This is this idiot.
Yeah, Dan Luke was up there with his. Yeah, Dan Luke was up there with his roof off. I got a box on it. Yeah, you missed it, eh? How comes your black flag this way? Right. How comes your black flag?
Put the show on. You made it worthwhile. Do you know what time it is now? 10 o'clock.
So that strap would have went round, right round the back of the bus to keep the engine cover closed. It's actually pretty good. It's held up quite well actually. It's held up quite well. It's not it's not totally wet. Well, it's obviously written off, but it's still relatively intact. Don't worry, this isn't the service bus. I drive buses for a living, but I don't think I'd be driving them much longer if it ended up like that. It's not a view that I normally see, let's put it like that. I try my best to avoid that ever happening when I'm driving. I swear I've never had anything like that before, but let's just say that's not a view that I normally see. It's a new way of getting in the bus. I had to go in and out that way. The doors are all buckled obviously. Literally getting in at the front in the literal sense. So they're just slowly moving the buses off the track and then into the pit, and then they'll just put them on the lorries and then they'll go for scrap. So, yeah, it's been a good meeting. It's been a good meeting. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was worth the 300-mile trip from Dundee. So yeah, I'll try and get to as many of these as I could. Just depends on if enough my work or not, but you know, try my best to get to as many. So I got the forklift on, they're just moving the Mercedes, or what's left of the Mercedes, off the track. And that there's the framework, part of the chassis, and that's just been torn off as well, so it's a Voith transmission with the Cummins engine in it. That actually looks like the prop shaft snapped. Yep, so the gearbox isn't driving the axle because the prop shaft that comes out this angular drive from the transmission, well, that is burst at the coupling, so there isn't any drive going to the back rear axle. So the rear axle was completely disconnected from the drive, so the engine's just spinning around through the gearbox, and that coupling there is just spinning around. It should be connected to that spline shaft, and then the drive would go into the back differential, which will drive the rear wheels, but obviously due to the impact it's been ripped right off the coupling, so this ain't moving anywhere until that's coupled up again, at least. So I mean, the engine might run, but it's not going to connect up to the back wheels, so that's why this one didn't go any further. Although the engine was running earlier and the transmission was running, the coupling's just it's just been ripped out. So that looks like an oil to water heat exchanger, I think, or is that the filter? Maybe that's a hydraulic filter. I'm not sure if that's an accumulator or a filter. Not 100% sure what that is, but I think that's hydraulic lines that are going to it from the transmission. It could be, I don't know, regulator or something, I'm not sure. It'll probably come to me eventually, but whatever it is, it's sheared right off. You can see where it's sheared off. I can't remember what that is. It could be a filter, maybe a hydraulic filter, but it was for the transmission because it's a hydraulic transmission. And that's the fluid top up, fluid dipstick for the not ZF, for the Voith transmission, automatic transmission fluid. It's got a built-in retarder, a hydraulic retarder, and that will require like a heat exchanger, because the retarder works by basically inverting the torque converter. So the motion of the bus moving at speed, it will basically, it's complicated to explain, but it's like a hydraulic torque converter but in the reverse process. So instead of multiplying torque, it's actually doing the opposite, and it's slowing the bus down, and that heat has got to be dissipated. So it goes round through the hydraulic oil pump at the bottom of the transmission, and it'll go through the cooling system. I think it's a water to oil cooler heat exchanger to take away the heat, because it's changing kinetic energy into thermal heat. So it's it needs to be dissipated from somewhere. And that, basically the hydraulic retarder is an assistance with the service brake, which is, on these things, are pneumatic air brake systems, and the retarder basically prevents brake fade. So when you just press the brake pedal and the hydraulic retarder will kick in, and that will save the service brakes from overheating, you know, when it's going down a steep brake. It just assists the brakes basically, and it's very effective because as I say, I drive the buses and I know how effective these hydraulic retarders are. That'll be the alternator, 24 volt DC alternator. That'll be the hydraulics for the reservoir. It's a Cummins engine. I think it's a 10.5 litre Cummins, I think. Yeah, I heard the transmission turning, or the engine and transmission turning earlier when I was up at the grandstand there. But the bus wasn't moving. Now I know why. Because it's not mechanically connected to the back wheels, to the back diff. So I can smell the burning rubber and the carnage, you know. That's everybody going away home now. So I'm not in any hurry to get back because I go home tomorrow. A 300 mile drive back to Dundee, so I'll just be going back to the travel lodge and set off tomorrow. So I'm going to have a closer look at these two coaches there as well. I think that's some kind of possibly a heating pipe, maybe, I don't know. Could be a number of things. My initial thought was it was like for the heating system, although it does seem a bit brittle. It could just be a structural thing or something, I don't know. Not a structural thing, but like a sort of like a runner for maybe interior panels or components to fix this. Maybe like a conduit, maybe a piping conduct or conduit. Conduct, I think it's called. So there'll be like pipe cables or wires in there, and that will protect it. It's possibly that. It's just like part of the chassis a fixture of a chassis part, a component has been ripped right off. There's a lot of debris strewn about all over the track. I mean, you can see all the components. So it's like a sort of eerie silence now because it's really quiet. There's nothing much doing. And just think maybe half an hour ago it was absolutely buzzing with activity and excitement and all the crowds and all the action, and now it's just this eerie silence kind of thing, and these two dead vehicles now just ghostly sitting here and I can still feel the heat off the brakes and the tyres. The brakes were probably binding, that's maybe why there's a lot of heat. Because with that small breeze there, it was blowing past, it blew a load of warm air off the front, and that's just with everything being under extreme pressure. It was thrashed, so obviously there'll be a lot of hot components. That looks like the cooling pack, radiator cooling pack behind that grille. So it's mesh, be electric cooling fans. That might be that, or it might be an auxiliary cooling radiator, like an intercooler, or I don't think it will be a condenser for the air conditioning. It could just be like maybe auxiliary components like to cool the transmission down, to cool the oil. I'm guessing. I don't think that's the main radiator. I think that's the main radiator there, but that's maybe just an auxiliary radiator. That's my guess. There's that kind of, I had my sunglasses on by the way because of the, it wasn't because it's sunny a lot, it's dry at least, it was alright, the weather was okay, but it was just because of the amount of dirt and dust and debris it was blowing up when these big buses were going past. I just threw up a load of stew and it was getting in my eyes, so I brought the sunglasses and put them on, although it wasn't overly sunny, it did keep my eyes from getting covered in all the stew. I had to sort of check the periodically check the camera lens for dirt and dust, you know, it's just so I wasn't going to ruin the video. So I had to keep a check on that while I was filming as well. So that looks like that's it then. I'm just pretty much going to be going back home now. Back to the travel lodge, sorry, and I'll be going back home to Dundee tomorrow. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I don't think there's not much more doing in the pits. That's pretty much everybody away home now. Well, there's a few people about, but you know, like the staff and the officials, now they'll be having maybe a meeting up at the bar or something. But I think all the spectators, I think, are all away. So there's just not many people left now. It's just such an eerie silence. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. I'll get this video compiled up and I'll get it online as soon as I can. So hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Yeah, bye for now. Bye. bonus.
What's driving?
This is a wee bonus footage. This is bonus footage. So it's a double decker just getting parked up and just a good back here. And I got it outside it. It's been driven at the front hanging off. Just a wee bit of bonus footage.
Don't worry about it, man.